So in this video, I'm going to go over how I've been able to save $25,000 in a year. To some people, that might not seem like a lot of money, but at the same time, 50% of people do not have an emergency fund or they need money saved for a specific goal. And if you watch this whole video all the way through, I promise I'll be able to find something that'll help you be able to save more money no matter your income. Hello, welcome back for another video. Tim here from the Bear Market Dad, helping you build wealth in any market. So the first thing we're going to touch on is setting a goal to get where you want to be and why you want to save money. Do you want to be a millionaire, or do you just want to have enough money to go on vacation and not stress about taking time off? Maybe you want to take a break from work or pursue other goals and passions. Maybe you're getting married or in the process of having a baby. The reason we want to set these goals is so that we can get an understanding of how much we will need to save and can create our budget from there to obtain this goal. This is one of the most important things to do. It is astonishing that 1 out of 3 people do not use or know how to set a budget. But to be honest, this is one of the most crucial factors to saving money and building wealth. Some of you say, Tim, I don't need to set a budget. I know how much my bills are and I pay my bills fine and I have some money left over. And I say that's awesome. But are you wanting to save money efficiently? And are you trying to reach a goal quickly? If so, you're going to need to make a budget, and here's why that is important. Since budgeting allows you to create a spending plan for your money, it ensures that you'll always have enough money for the things you need and the things that are important to you. Writing down your income on a monthly basis and your expenses so that you can see where your money's going. By not measuring this and understanding your cash intake and outtake, you're going to have an extremely hard time saving money if you don't know where your money's going and you don't know how much you're spending on, say, food and other expenses. About 70% of people do not know how much they're spending on these things. And by creating a budget, you'll be surprised at how much you're actually spending. This is how I was able to save myself thousands of dollars a month just by creating a budget. Now, by no means am I a rich person. I don't have a fancy house or a fancy car. I'm just a regular guy who understands how money works and how to build and sustain money. I just live in a way to where I can be comfortable and have a pool of money at the same time for whatever my goals are. By the way, once you create your budget, leave a comment on what you find most of your money is going towards. Mine, it was going to eating out and delivery. Okay, now that we have our budget set up, we're going to need to take a look at how we're going to save to reach these goals mentioned before. This is going to be different for everyone. Some will be more than others. Maybe you're just wanting to save up a couple months so that way if the economy busts again, you'll be okay for a while. The dollar amount's going to be different for everyone, but how you achieve it is going to be the same. All right, how we're going to have to do this is we're going to have to narrow some things down. It can be narrowed down to about 5 primary needs that we're going to go over. Those are food, shelter, transportation, clothing, and hitting the like button so that helps with the algorithm, and I appreciate you greatly. Now, I know it's been said before, and I think it's one of the truest things that people need to come to terms with, and that is stop living outside of your means. Whether you make $100,000 a year or $25,000 a year, over 90% of people are living beyond their means. Now you're going to think, oh man, this guy's going to tell me to be a minimalist, not to spend money, not to ever have any fun, and for some people that works. I couldn't do that. People are social by nature and want to go out and have fun and eat with friends. No one wants to wait till they're 60 years old and be like, oh, I went my entire life without spending any money. Now I can finally enjoy it. No, it's okay to go out to eat every once in a while. It's okay to enjoy your life, but do not live beyond your means and do not overspend. This is one of the single biggest things that can make a difference from living paycheck to paycheck and having money to reach your goals. This next point I know not many people do, and that's setting up an automatic draft to take out a percentage of your income and put it for saving and investing. So when you get your paycheck, have an automatic draft set up to take 30% of your paycheck and put it towards an account for savings and investing. That way it's automatically done as soon as you get your check and you're not looking at the money and you're not thinking about the money. This will give you 70% of your income to live off of. This is the best way I found to do this, and has helped me save thousands of dollars a month. Now you can take this a little bit deeper and set aside 10% for funds and wants, and that leaves you 50% of your money to live off with your needs and your expenses. This is really how I specifically do it, but it's not for everybody. Some need more, some need less. You're going to have to take a look at it and see what specific your financial needs are going to adhere to. Now let's take a look at the needs that I mentioned before and how we're going to be able to cut these down so you can save more money. Now the first one we're going to take a look at is food, and personally this is the one I've spent way too much money on and didn't realize how much it added up until I broke this down. Hit the like button if you're the same. So when I took a look at it, there are many ways that you can cut back on food costs, and this is something that you're going to want to do and you're going to have to force yourself to do. And that's not going out to eat and ordering food as much. I know this sounds simple, and I mean, it really is, but most of the people who say they're too busy to cook is really just lazy about it. And I know that sounds kind of harsh, but it's the simple truth. I was particularly in this boat as well. For someone who works, has a family, runs 2 YouTube channels, and has a second job, I get tired and don't feel like cooking, and that is an excuse that I would use all the time. But to be honest, having meals that you can prepare quickly for those days are crucial to help prevent the urge to just pick something up on the way or just order something to be delivered, since I would have a completely full schedule those days. You can eat out once a week, do a family thing, or go out with your friends, that's fine. But once you start cooking at home and eating out less, you're going to see that your food expenses are going to be cut in half just about. Also, you can get store brands, save money that way, and it's just the same quality as other brands. This will help you save probably about $100 on your grocery bill. Please do make sure that you're eating well. Don't go out and just buy junk because it's cheaper, and make sure you're still getting the right nutrition for your body and staying healthy. Now we're going to take a look at your shelter and rent. Getting a roommate or subletting is one of the pretty obvious things, and it'll save you by far the most money. The average cost of a 1-bedroom apartment in 2020 was $964. The average cost of a 2-bedroom apartment in 2020 was $1,192. Divide the second number by 2 and it's $396 cheaper per month and $4,416 cheaper. If you're like me and have a family and don't have enough space for a roommate, look at a smaller place. You can find lower costs of rent by downsizing. This can help you out tremendously and will be able to cut costs. Or possibly shop around for your utilities and see if there are lower options and prices. More often than not, there are. Also, offer to work for your landlord. If you know your way around appliances or plumbing, you can offer repairs to your landlord in exchange for discount on rent. Each time something breaks down, your landlord's going to pay somebody to fix it, or he or she may be willing to work with you instead of, so it saves money and time on their part. Don't be discouraged if you're particularly handy. You don't need specific skills to mow a lawn or trim hedges or anything like that. So the next one is going to be transportation. Buying a car under market value that have already gone through most of their depreciation so that you can drive it for little cost without really having to lose much value. This is by buying a used car, probably about 5 or 6 years old, and driving it without losing a whole bunch of money. Depending on where you live, you could be better off just saving money and using Uber and public transportation. This could save you on car insurance, gas, vehicle repair, and maintenance costs. Just make sure you run the numbers and see if it'd be more beneficial for you. If you live in a bigger city, you can save a lot of money this way, so you don't have to pay for parking, since a lot of areas you go to, you have to pay for parking or go to a parking garage. Let's take one that not a lot of people think about, and that is clothing. You can save a lot of money on clothing and still look dapper, and even keep the quality of clothes nice. One of the places I do the shopping for my clothes is a thrift store. Alright, before you shut down the idea, hear me out. There's a bunch of high quality clothes that you can get at thrift stores that have been overstocked or donated because people buy things and never wear them. Now you're going to have to look for this a bit, and when shopping, make sure you get the quality stuff. But with a little bit of searching, I found some really great quality clothes for super cheap, and it can save you a ton of money. If you still don't like the idea of going out to a thrift store and buying your clothes, I suggest by buying your clothes off season. What I mean by this is it's getting close to summertime. Go ahead and buy your winter clothes if you need it for the next year. That way it'll be already at a discounted price and it'll help you in the long run. I've been able to buy a few shirts for the price of one by just waiting until the items were out of season and getting them for almost nothing. Let me say this before I move on to my next point. Don't buy more than you need. That completely defeats the purpose, and you're not saving money by buying a whole bunch of clothes just because it's on discount. It entirely defeats the purpose of you saving money, and it can be very wasteful. Now, I know a lot of these look like really simple and minor things. Yeah, you could say that, but it is always the small things that add up and usually are the greatest deal of money when it comes to not tracking your money properly. On top of this, it is also a habit that you'll have to form so that you can reach your goals. Overspending is one of the biggest things that keep most people from retiring early and working a job they don't like for the rest of their lives. Or something even a lot of people just had to experience, and that's when a lot of people just had to lose their jobs last year and were out of work and income, and a lot of people still are. So what are the goals that you want to be saving for? Comment them below and keep me updated on your progress. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload a video. I'll be uploading videos a few times a week. On top of that, make sure you follow me on Facebook and on Instagram. Thank you very much. Until next time.